Hi everyone, this is Gail from Rainbow Food Rocks and Rainbow Healing and Wellness. And I'm here to let you know that my book is now available as an ebook PDF on Dr. Paul Cottrell's website, which is the studio-Reykjavik. So let me go ahead and show you where it is located, and then I'll show you what the PDF looks like. So we'll go ahead and share the screen. There we are. Okay, so as you can see, it's $12 and there's a nice description here. And it pretty much goes over how you'll find breakfasts, lunches, dinners, desserts, soups, salads, smoothies, and more, which is totally true. And I'll show you in just a moment what you'll see in the book. There's even a faux meat section for those that don't eat meat. And a lot of the recipes, when I was originally making this book, I used to make meat dishes, and then I had stopped eating meat a few years ago, so I changed my recipes, and those that eat meat can add meat back in, so that's something you can do. So it goes over how I organize the book, and there's a plan. Well, there are the ingredients, and then there's a plan ahead, and there's a once ready. So let me just go ahead and go to the book and show you what I'm talking about. But I'm so excited that this is available, and Dr. Paul is hosting other authors as well. And when I come out with my next recipe book, I'll be happy to put it on his website as well. So let's go over to my PDF. So I'm going to share that with you. So you'll see that there's the cover, and it's just like the book. And then I have my logo, which I actually painted myself and had it created into a graphic design. And everything was done by me in this book, which is, I think, pretty unique. The only thing that was not done by me was the picture of me, which is on the cover, and a few pictures on the inside, because I couldn't take pictures of myself very easily. Otherwise, I took all the pictures of the food myself with a 10-year-old camera, so I think it's pretty impressive. We're going to scroll down here, and you can see there's a table of contents, so it's very well organized. And you can see there are dressings, dips, seasonings, bases, and sauces. And I have very unique recipes. So I tried to take things from many different cultures. I studied multiple foreign languages, and I wanted to include a lot of different recipes from different countries. And I wanted to make them healthier versions and meat-free versions. So everything in this book is wheat-free, dairy-free, corn-free, soy-free, egg-free, peanut-free, gluten-free, and meat-free. And also, I do not use cane sugar with the exception of decorating one, and it's optional, one thing, which is the French toast. Otherwise, if I use anything for non-vegans, it's honey. For vegans, it's coconut nectar or coconut sugar. And you can see here, chapter 2, milks and hot beverages. So you can take these bases, these milks, and use them in many different recipes. And one of the beauties about my book is that everything builds upon each other. So it isn't like you have one thing and you're never going to use it again. It's like you have one thing and you can use it in so many different ways and throughout the week. So on my website, which I can show you at the end, I actually have some meal plans that people can use. They're just samples, but you can see how you can reuse things. Like say you have cabbage, you could use it in the salad, you could use it in another recipe, you could use it in a stir fry. So there are many different ways to use each item, and I try to do it as efficiently as possible and as organized as possible. So moving on, then there are, for chapter 3, there is smoothies, sorbets, and ice creams. And those are banana-based ice creams, so I use frozen bananas. And I do have recipes for using coconut milk for ice creams, but they are not in this book. I'll save that for a future book. Breakfasts, like I said, are breakfast, lunches, dinners. So you can see I tried to replicate what people are used to eating in America. And you see the French toast, you see the pancakes, oatmeal, zucchini bread, muffins, crepes. I have flatbreads. I don't use yeast, and that's something I don't really advertise, but because I don't use yeast, most things don't rise very well. They have to either set that way from the ingredients that I'm using, or they're kind of flat. So I've been very creative. I've made cassava flour tortillas, lentil soup, pancake tortillas, and buckwheat crepes. And I do have a recipe for teff crepes, and that'll be in a future book as well. I have some ideas. And I have here soups. So people that are from Russia, if they're used to borscht, And I actually used a CSA basket and created like 5 or 6 of these recipes from that CSA basket. So that was last year when I was working on the book. And then I incorporated them in. There's a Filipino recipe. You can see I have some sinigang, which is a Filipino soup. I have dal, which is Indian lentil soup. I have a spicy version. I have pasta azul, which is an Italian soup. It's like a bean soup. Minestrone. Then I have salads. So I have many different types, and I even have some with jackfruit. So for people that are used to salads with meat, you can use jackfruit as a meat substitute. We have side dishes. So I have different hummuses and some fries and different ways to use potatoes. There's a dish I used to eat when I lived in Seattle, Washington, and it had meat, but it had like this green sauce. And so there was like a red Cossack and a green Cossack. So I made a vegan version of green Cossack, and I used all my items from my garden to make that. So I'm trying to show people that you can actually grow your own food and use it in many of these recipes. Now, there are some more exotic things that don't grow here in Arizona. For instance, cassava flour. I haven't seen cassava available here locally. Main dishes, we have lots of unique things. I have like a taco pizza, so it's like my rendition of a pizza. I have nori rolls, so if you're looking for something a little more like Japanese or Asian. I have aloo gobi. I have a cashew cheese pesto pasta. So I use cashews and to try to replicate ricotta, for instance. And that's a different recipe I'll have in a future book, but you get the idea. There's pine nut cheese. So I've gotten very creative in making different things that replicate what people are used to eating. Then I have the faux-meat dishes. So if you're used to eating pork or fish or chicken, well, now you can use jackfruit or quinoa or beans in lieu of the meat and make it taste and look like the meat. So for people that are meat eaters and have been and want to transition to a plant-based diet, my book makes a really nice transition. We also have desserts, and I put a lot of different desserts because what I find is when people are transitioning to a healthier diet, they still crave the sweets. So like I mentioned, I'm not using cane sugar, and I'm using either honey, coconut nectar, or coconut sugar. This way I make it vegan and vegetarian compliant. So we have recipes here, and every recipe has an alternate. So if you're a strict vegan and you don't eat honey, there is an alternative for you. I'm trying to remember what else I have. So then there's a picture of me, and that's me in my kitchen. And yes, that's my real kitchen. And there's the story, which is available online as well at rainbowfoodrocks.com. And you can, it's just 3 pages, but it goes over why I'm doing what I'm doing. And the quick summary is my 3 kids and I had health issues, and I started using elimination diet, and then I backed it up with an IgG food sensitivity test to show that these foods were indeed inflammatory. And lo and behold, I actually cured and healed my 3 children and myself from different ailments, which you can read about. And I do lots of shows about that, so you can listen in about that. I have a great show on my YouTube channel, which I'll show you also at the end, where I go over my whole story from beginning to end, so a nice big summary. And so there's me in the kitchen. Yep, that's really me, no enhancements there. All right, so chapter 1, you can see here are some different chutneys and sauces, and I make a mock ketchup. And so you can see there, I'm going to scroll pretty fast just so that people aren't like totally screenshotting the whole thing, but you can see there's pesto. There's pesto right there. And then all these pictures are available, or at least half of these pictures are available on my website. And some of these recipes are already on my website. So if you're looking for just a quick free recipe, you want to give it a try, see it before you purchase the book, you can do that. I have an everything free butter. I just passed it. That is pretty easy to make. It's just 2 ingredients. And then I have different salsas, which go well if you're not eating meat, they're going well with jackfruit. But if you do eat meat, they go well with like a fish or a pork dish. I'm not, supporting like everyone eating meat, and I'm not saying to not eat meat. I'm just saying however you eat, there's a different way of doing things. So I make my own vegetable broth. I use it as a base. I do flax eggs a lot. And there's my son with me. This is about, this picture is old. And you can see we're in the kitchen together. And I'll scroll through just a little bit more. I don't want to take up all your time, whoops, but I'll show you that pretty picture. There's my almond milk, which is just 5 ingredients. You put them in a blender, super fast and easy. I use it as a base for a bunch of recipes. If you can't do almonds, there's cashew. If you can't do cashew, there's sunflower. If you can't do that, there's flax. So you have a lot of different options. You can make a strawberry milk, a turmeric milk. You can make a turmeric latte, chocolate milk, hot cacao. This one I've done a video on, so I don't mind if you see the recipe there. It's cinnamon, turmeric, ginger tea with some black peppercorns. And this is very similar to something that Dr. Paul has been advertising. He just adds lemon and garlic. And so he and I are very, very similar, which is why my book is on his store, because I like to be in alignment with people. He and I are in alignment very much. So then I have like a dandelion coffee. It's all herbal. I don't use any kind of stimulants. And then I have my beautiful, look how gorgeous that is, my beautiful sorbet here. And again, I took all these pictures myself and got very creative. Look how beautiful that looks, right? Don't you want to just like jump and eat it? Oh my gosh. Every time my kids see these pictures, this is one of their favorites. I think I have this recipe posted as well. This one is the chocolate chip peppermint ice cream. Oh my gosh, they just love it. And I use cacao nibs. And if you're a follower of Dr. Paul Cottrell, you know that he and Mike Adams do a lot of shows. And so Mike Adams sells some really nice cacao nibs on his store, The Health Ranger. He also does Natural News. And so I do actually buy his products and use them in my recipes. And I'm not sure if he's aware of that, but now if he's listening, he is aware of that. So I'm not sponsored by him. I'm not sponsored by anyone. The only affiliation I have is with Raw Living Spirulina. I don't mind being sponsored, but I'm not currently sponsored by anyone. I just go with what I know is the purest and the best source for things. And I do have a list on my website of where I source them. And let's go over a recipe, for instance, too. So you notice here I have super spicy double chocolate chip ice cream, for instance, and I'm using bananas as my base. You'll see here that I am giving you the ingredients, the instructions, and there's a plan ahead, there's a once ready, and then there's a note so that people are aware of little details. And I try to do that with almost every recipe. I'm gonna just go a little bit faster through this because I have 128 recipes in here. So that's a lot. And they're my pancakes. My kids love my pancakes. Those are beautiful. You can see muffins. Let's keep scrolling. French toast, oatmeal, zucchini bread. Look at that, all those tortilla wedges. This one is delicious. This is my seeded cracker bread. Oh my goodness gracious. And it has cardamom and so many delicious things in it. Fennel, yeah. You will love this. And there's my everything free butter with it. So everything you see, I mean, there's no enhancement. This is real deal food. I know a lot of people will enhance their pictures in all kinds of bizarre ways, making things it's not even their real food that they took a picture of. This is real deal, you know, raw, there you have it. And I think there's a beauty in that. I hope you agree. So yeah, crepe recipes. And like I said, you can even make teff crepes too. But that's not in this book, that'll be in a future book. There's my borscht. I did a video, it's on my YouTube, about the borscht, so you can learn how to make that. But it is nice to have an ebook or a book with everything written out. And again, the way I bring it out too, like here's the pasta vazul. Isn't that gorgeous looking? You can see, you know, I'm telling you, I grew up in an Italian-American household. This is one of my favorite dishes. So I give you a little background. I'm telling you, how you can use jars. And in some cases, I'll tell you how you can reuse this for another recipe. Look at that gorgeous salad. I took that in my backyard. It's actually a picture from my chairs, but you would never know. I mean, I created all these unique backdrops, and I think there's a beauty in that creativity. So hopefully you'll appreciate that as well. Here's a gorgeous picture of my blackened jackfruit salad. Oh my gosh. So when I got my CSA from Sing Meadows, I did a video on this as well. It's on either Rainbow Food Rocks or Rainbow Healing and Wellness. I kind of split the recipes in both channels. You can learn how to make this. It's so tasty. It's so easy to make. And I give you all the hints and tips and tricks. And I even tell you like what brands I'm using in the notes section. But like I said, if it's not written in the notes section, I do have it on my website. Again, I don't want to take up too much time, but look at that gorgeous quinoa bowl. I mean, that's real deal food. There's no enhancement there. That's just what I was eating. And I took a picture and made a recipe. Like this is a mock taco salad. And it almost looks like beef. You see that quinoa? It looks like beef. And when you take my taco seasoning, which you can make in bulk and then use later on in your quinoa, with your quinoa, it tastes like you're having tacos. It really does. That's the beauty. All right, so what else do we have here? There's me with my daughter, Abigail. And Abigail's the one that came up with the title, Rainbow Food Rocks. A lot of people go, oh, what does that mean? It's rocks, isn't cool. But of course it come from a kid, right? So, and there's a whole explanation if you go on Rex Bear Leak Project, the first show that I was actually showing my real face with my real name, because I went by Kajal Kaja previously. That show, I go over how we created the title and how I came up with the rainbow, and it goes into a lot more details that I will let you explore if you're curious why everything is rainbows. There is a lot more to it than what meets the eye. Not just the rainbow food, there's a lot more going on. So thank this little girl over here. I healed her of autism spectrum disorder and ADHD. That's my daughter, Abigail. And these recipes can be used in so many different ways for so many different ailments. So I hope that you take advantage of this. Look, I was using my dupatas actually, and that's my shirt in the background as a beautiful backdrop. And I got creative. I was thinking around Thanksgiving time, I think it was, when I took this picture of making it look almost like a little turkey platter. Oh, it's so funny. We have different hummuses, so we'll keep scrolling, but look at this. Like this one almost looks like fish, but it's actually hummus. And I just plated it in a way that looks gorgeous. And hummus with these pomegranate seeds, if you've never tried that, it's so, so, so amazing and so delicious. And of course the sprouts, I actually now sprout in my kitchen, and I have videos on that. I'm still in the process of uploading more videos from Rainbow Food Rocks to Rainbow Healing and Wellness. But the Cossack sauce, now here's what the Cossack sauce looks like. You see that green sauce? You can use pretty much everything that you'd grow in the garden for this recipe. Look at that. You can even grow your own potatoes. I have a potato box in my backyard. You can watch videos on that on my channel. Some Brussels sprouts. So you get the idea of how beautiful these recipes are. I'll just scroll to the desserts unless something else jumps out at me. I don't know. There's main dishes. These main dishes are great for family. Like, look at this. I can't help but show it off. Like, look at these gorgeous nori rolls. And you know how someone would eat sushi? Well, this one has quinoa and in lieu of the rice, but it almost has that like fish kind of thing going on too, like the caviar that they put on the sushi or what have you. So there's cabbage and there's sweet potato and there's avocado. And when you put it all together, it's like firecrackers in your mouth. It's so delicious. And it seems complicated to make, but once you just do the prep work, it's so easy. And then you can use all those leftovers to make more and more and more. So everything has multiple use, and then you can even just throw it in a salad and put toppings on it as well. So everything comes to play. Like this aloo gobi dish, a lot of people don't realize. Like here's aloo gobi. You can take this and make it into an aloo gobi rice paper roll, which is kind of like having a samosa. So if you've ever had an Indian samosa, it's really similar. And I'm just gonna make my whole audience hungry here. Like, look at this, aloo gobi rice paper roll. And if you don't wanna go through all the trouble, I can tell you that locally here in Arizona, there's a wonderful place called Uprooted Kitchen where I actually sell my Rainbow Herbals essential oils. And those are food grade essential oils, by the way, high vibrational. So they actually make something similar. It's not the same, but it's similar. So they have potato in theirs and they have more traditional samosa ingredients. Mine is I took aloo gobi and I put it inside and I just added a few extras to enhance. So they're both delicious. The sauces that go with this dish are outstanding. I have a cilantro, mint, and a tamarind made from scratch. Very simple, very few ingredients. Oh my gosh. And again, I don't use any cane sugar or anything. This is a unique one. I went from BLT to DLT. dulse spinach tomato, or dulse lettuce tomato, however you want to say it. This one is outstanding. If you've not worked with dulse before, it tastes like bacon. I know from previous experience when I ate meat. And also it supplies iodine. So Dr. Paul's been talking about iodine a lot. If you don't want to do the iodine droplets or tablets, you can eat dulse and get plenty of iodine. And I put dulse in almost all my main dish recipes and salads. So I'm constantly getting iodine, because if you are having kosher or sea salt, like I do Celtic sea salt a lot, nettle salt, you're not getting the iodine. So you need to find another source. So there's that. And I'm getting the iron from the greens, the spinach. Here's a beautiful layout of my crepe, and then I'm using the hummus, and then you see the dulse again. So that's another way to throw it in. It really enhances the flavor. It's kind of salty, and you know, it's from the ocean, but you want to be very particular about what dulse you're buying as well, which I do have listed on my website. So I do encourage you to go check out the sourcing of my ingredients. And we have here the pasta dish. And I'm going to keep scrolling through here because I can tell my kids are going to get antsy. Look at this one. I know I'm trying to make it to desserts, but I just have that many recipes in this PDF, all for $12.99, which is amazing. So here is the jackfruit with the mango salsa, which is awesome. And we have here, look at this dish. This is gorgeous too. I took some leftover cabbage and just made this recently. This is my kelp cabbage noodles with jackfruit chicken. If you can handle the rice, you can also use like glass rice noodles. And then some other quinoa dishes. And pretty much you can make a batch of quinoa and use it in so many different ways in my recipe book. We'll guide you to that. So here is a fried rice, and that's with jackfruit. I have a video on my YouTube of how to make this one as well. And my kids love it. It's great for kids. This one's my rendition of a burrito. I think that's my everything burrito. I had a big zucchini, so I made some zucchini cutlets and put that in the recipe book. This one's unique too. I showed this one in a video. It was very, very, very unique. I forgot what I titled it though, because I know these how I use them, but I always forget how I title this. Okay, quinoa and beef kale. So it's like a mock beef with the quinoa, and then there's kale. There's turmeric in this, so many unique spices, saffron, very much like a Moroccan dish. And again, I just love different cultures and different cultures' food and languages. So here we get into desserts. You can see we have some maca cookies. Maca is really good for a lot of things, including libido, if you're interested. We got some Linzer tarts here, and we have oatmeal cookies. Can't resist those. These are delicious. If you can't do oats, you know, there's so many other recipes here. So I tried to do something for everyone. I have grain-free, I have paleo compliant, I have all different variations, but nevertheless, they're all vegan, vegetarian, and plant-based for sure, 100% in every recipe. And then we have like different chocolates that you can make yourself. And if you can't do sugar, you can just leave out the sugar. So I leave it optional because I know some diabetics that can't do the sugar. And I have a friend that actually inspired that recipe. It's a he. And he loved them without the sugar. So I used to make them for him and for his wife. And my lemon lime walnut date balls. Oh my gosh, if you go on the One TV, that's a network by Lanita Nash. I have a video on her network on how to make these. These are yummy. I took them to the Soul Center Mesa and showed them off. And, you know, without further ado, I don't want to keep you too long. I'll just show you. I have more desserts, and then I have a whole index. So if you're looking for something and you're like, gosh, I remember she was talking about jackfruit, but I don't remember what the recipe was, and I don't know what page, I don't know if it was faux-meat or somewhere else, you can come over to the index and look that up. It's all in alphabetical order. And then just a gratitude page of all the people on my journey for this particular book. And I'll have another gratitude page for my next book as well. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this over. I want to show you. So we were here, I think. Let's share this screen. So this is Dr. Paul's website, and I'll put this in the description box. But just so you know, here is my YouTube channel, and right away it's going to start saying stuff, so I'll have to pause it. So give me one moment here before it starts my little spiel. All right, so there's my Rainbow Food Rocks page, and there's also Rainbow Healing and Wellness, which you can go to. And you can watch some of my recipes there. And I'm moving a lot of things from Rainbow Food Rocks to Rainbow Healing and Wellness just because of some other issues that could come about. So here's my website. So you can have the link here for the recipe book, and you can find Dr. Paul's link here as well. So if you're like, gosh, I can't remember how to spell Reykjavik, but I know Gail Angeles from Rainbow Food Rocks, and I want to find that ebook, you can find the book on Amazon if you want to purchase a hard copy, and then I do have the link for the ebook right here as well. And last but not least, we got to give some credit to my buddy Dr. Paul over here. So he also has a link down below, and he has a bunch of YouTube videos. There he is. You can watch them, and he talks about a lot of different things, just like I do, and we're very like-minded. So I'll just go ahead and leave you with my website right there. And oh, by the way, you can see extra videos on my website. And let me do one last thing. Sorry, I thought I'd let you go. But let's just go over what's on my website. So I did trim a lot and hide a lot, and that's because I'm also doing consultations. So I realized that I had so much information on there, people were getting a little too confused as to where to find anything. So we have the recipe book, we have the essential oils, the food grade essential oils that I offer, and maybe in the future I'll offer them through Paul, we'll see. I'm gonna talk to him about that. But for now, you can email me and I can ship these to you. You just have to pay for the shipping. So I offer lots of beautiful ones. And what else do we have? We have that I offer Reiki sessions. I have my Rainbow Healing and Wellness consultations, like I mentioned. I'm an affiliate with Raw Living Spirulina. They have top-notch spirulina they ship out, 2-day shipping. It comes nice and cold, and it lasts for, I want to say, quite a few days. Like, I can't remember if it's like 10 days or whatnot, but it lasts a while. I'm also doing some baked goods here in Arizona. So I do make different cookies, and I don't have the pictures up here yet, but I do have some gorgeous pictures to put up of very unique Italian-American, Sicilian based cookies that you'd find in New York, but healthier versions because they're everything free. So like yoli cookies and cuccidati cookies and rainbow cookies and such. Overview of my book, about me, the story, my YouTube link. Here's the sample menu. As promised, I don't want to forget that you can go here. This isn't the best version. I had to type it up after I wrote it, and WordPress kind of chops it off. So what you need to do is go at the bottom and scroll. But you can see that, and how to help your body heal yourself, how to use my book in that way, as well as a shopping list. So here is a list of things that you can buy to make the meals that I suggest for that 2-week meal plan. That's probably good for about 6 people, plus a bunch of leftovers you can put in your freezer. And last but not least, you probably want the products that I use. So I have here, now these are the ones I use for making this book. Few things I've changed. So for instance, I now use Hu, H-U chocolate. Again, I'm not sponsored, but I use them instead of Enjoy Life. I don't have any reactions, and I really like it. It only uses coconut sugar. I've been staying away from cane sugar. The rest of these, though, are still the same ones that I use, and you can see all the different brands and what they are. So if you're curious, you're like, gosh, you know, what cinnamon does she use? Oh, look, she used in this book, Terrasol Ceylon cinnamon, or you know, what jelly did she use? Now I need to update this. Instead of St. Dalfor, I'm using Fior di Frutti. So that one just is a little bit better, and it's organic, and it doesn't have any extras in it. St. Dalfor doesn't have any extras either. It's just, I noticed the quality is a little bit better with Fior di Frutta. Something like that. I might be mispronouncing the name. I don't remember how it's called. So I'll update that eventually, but everything else is pretty good. That's the same stuff I've been using. Just as I find products that are even better than what I used to make this book, which I thought were the best at the time, which they probably were because new things keep on coming on the market, you know, I'll update it, and it'll reflect in my new book as well. So here are a bunch of free recipes. I know I said I'd let you go, but I'll just show you really quickly. So if you're looking, you can see the links to my YouTube videos. I have a tahini salad on here, an apple cherry pecan salad, and many more videos. So you can use my book, you can watch the videos. Look at those gorgeous scones. Now this one's a little freebie because I don't have this one in this book. So this one's a special prize, nice free recipe, a little sneak peek of what's to come in the future recipe book. And so you can see as I was making videos, and I hope that that all helps you. I'll go back to Paul's link here and I'll stop the screen share. So please check this out. I mean, this is a killer deal for the holidays and it will help people. If you want the hard copy, it's on Amazon. But if you want something that you can just scroll on your phone and keep on hand, this is really a beautiful, beautiful thing. So let's stop the share. And thank you so much for sitting through this. I hope you like this. Check out my page. I hope you're interested in the ebook. Check out Dr. Paul's store. He offers so many different products. He offers C60 and Boomer and Quench Naturel. Oh my gosh, so many different things. So please check him out and I will see you on the next video.